Welcome to this guided meditation and visualization to allow you to let go, especially of things from the past. So find yourself the place and time to sit comfortably and gently allow your eyes to close. And as your unconscious mind can listen and understand and find the piece of the jigsaw puzzle deep inside. Imagine what it's like to be a raindrop drifting down through the leaves of a deep, deep green forest. And sometimes a raindrop falls in front of the leaf, and sometimes it falls behind, or even just on the surface of the leaf itself. Rolling gently to the edges, clinging on, but knowing that inevitably gravity is irresistible, and that raindrop will just have to let go. And sure enough, it just gently floats down to the soil, and there it rests on the forest floor. And to many people it looks hard and impenetrable, but that raindrop doesn't know that. It just soaks through the forest floor, and there it meets other raindrops who've done exactly the same. And they collect around the roots, healing the trees, nurturing them. And as the raindrops begin to make the smallest rivers through the soil and eventually come out into the sunlight and join a river. And the river breathes in that sunlight and the freshness and the newness and begins its journey down to the sea. Through the fields and valleys and villages and towns and cities, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, over rapids, over waterfalls and lakes, but always towards the sea. And finally, when it's ready, the river lets go and becomes a vast ocean. And the raindrops don't know how they change from rainwater to salt water, but they do. And now part of the vast, vast ocean. And carried by the currents, and I don't know if you know that years ago a container ship carrying trainers was caught in a storm. And the trainers fell overboard and floated away, adding to the debris of the ocean. This disaster turned out to be different because a man who studied the ocean currents found out about the disaster. And the trainers are indestructible. They floated around the world, and he plotted them, asking people to let him know where and when they arrived on the shores, the beaches, the lands. 5, 10, 20, 30 years later, and it was the first time that ocean currents had been understood. So as the currents move the raindrops from one place to another, sometimes cool, sometimes warm, and the raindrop becomes mist and then becomes cloud. And some people don't like it, but plants love it, allowing them to bloom in places where the rest of the year it's barren, but where the seeds are just waiting for the raindrop. And sometimes they fall over cities, cleaning the wet streets, and sometimes over deep, deep green forests. And sometimes a raindrop falls in front of the leaf, and sometimes it falls behind, or even gently just on the surface of the leaf itself, rolling to the edges, clinging on, but knowing that inevitably gravity is irresistible, and that raindrop will just have to let go. And so as your unconscious mind allows you to make sense in a whole new way, to learn to grow, and you can bring yourself back as soon as you are ready. Take as long as you need.